with your coach if he does come to town, because you got a good one now. You guys have had some issues in that, that portion of your team, but you got a solid head coach now that even scares me as an Eagles fan. This game worries me a little bit.
I think what happens, and I love Coach Saleh. He's solid. He's a player's coach. The players love him. They play for him.
He walked in their shoes. That's why.
Yeah. So, I think what scared a lot of Jets fans, I wasn't, because, when you talk about fiery people and it just coming out of their pores, that's Coach Saleh.
Okay.
So, I wasn't afraid. The Jets naturally, since I've been watching since the 90s, they've always been a defensive strong team.
That's true. Hey,
some of our best years with receivers, they were short.
That's also true.
So looking at this team now, with
you got some depth at
the receiver position, some route runners, some guys who can get over the top.
I don't think your Jets can compete with my Birds when it comes to one A.J. Brown, wide receiver 1 in the NFL, Pro Bowler, 1,200-yard catcher, and Mr. Smith. Yeah, our version of the Smith on the back of the jersey.
You said who was the first guy you mentioned? I'm sorry.
A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith.
What is
1 and 1A?
What is okay? This is what I'm loving about this Jets team right now. Okay, everyone's speaking of Sauce.
Oh, you think Sauce?
But then we also have Clark back there now.
Oh, okay.
Who just came over from Baltimore.
Yes, he did. You got another one kind of.
And don't forget about Mr. Reed.
Within the AFC.
DJ Reed over there. So you have a ball hawk.
Okay.
You have a shutdown. And you got a sledgehammer.
Okay.
So just forget about the back half of the field.
But.
So where do you attack? Are you going to run at Quinnen? Was that the idea?
Absolutely anywhere we want, because if
you're not running at
if you try to take the receivers away, if you try to focus on
when the receivers
Smith
are taken away
and A.J. Brown,
who's
covering Dallas Goedert or All-Pro tight end?
When the receivers are taken away.
Oh, because you think the tight end
that's going to happen
away too?
When the receivers. Does he want to come across the middle right now?
Oh, Goddard doesn't care about going across the middle.
It'd be a bad idea because Mr. Williams back there.
Okay.
He's just got another contract.
Well, in that case,
Quincy's going to smack him.
In that case, if you're going to take the receivers up the field,
and if Quincy doesn't get him, you still have to worry about Mr. Mosley back there. Coming across the middle is a bad idea. Going over the top is a bad idea.
Okay. I think A.J. Brown is going to have a day on your Jets when we go up there.
That's what I want to see. I want to see.
How did this look? I'm calling it right now. A.J. Brown's going to have 8 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. On
Against
that
who?
D.
Against who?
On your Jets.
Against who? Who is A.J. Brown going to put on a highlight reel?
Anybody he wants, because nobody can stop him.
Not happening over here. Not happening over here. Not happening over here.
All right.
I know what's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of disappointed Eagles fans driving back to Philly.
All right.
So I'll get to laugh at them from New York through Philly.
So hold on.
All the way back to
You
Delaware.
tell me who's going to score on the Birds then from your Jet squad.
Take your pick.
Oh, take our pick, huh? With the 2 shutdown corners we have? Literally, Marlon Humphrey of the Ravens already said that the Eagles have the best cornerback tandem in the league.
That sounds good. That sounds good till they got to press up.
Darius Slay can play press all day long. Okay, I don't know why the Giants let go of Bradbury, but thank you very much again, because we re-signed both of them. And they are going to...
Wilson and Lazard.
Yeah. One and done. Ain't going to do nothing. They're going to be locked down all day.
It's too much of a catch
Lazard
radius.
will be lucky if he has...
That's 6.5 feet of catch radius for Lazard.
He's
going to air... Lazard, if it's in the range, he's going to dive for it. He wants the ball. But you got to worry about Garrett, the precision routes. He's going to make you miss. That's a Mr. Yak. Garrett is Mr. Yak.
Lazard will be lucky if he has 2 catches and we allow him to get 1 in each half.
That's great.
Slay is going to shut him down.
You think?
Oh, if I was allowed to on this cast, I put a little green on the table. If I needed to.
You think?
Oh, I know. I definitely know. This Birds. Why did the Eagles get to the Super Bowl last year? Because of their defense. We led the league. Hold up.
Schedule.
No, time out. Say what you want, but you guys have always been a defensive tradition. So let me lay this on you. How many sacks did the Birds have last year? We were a couple sacks shy of breaking the all-time record at the end of the year. Okay.
Yeah, but again,
and we had led the league with 70 sacks in the regular season last year. Yeah. That is how you win games. And the quarterback can't throw the ball.
Did you guys record 6 sacks in a game last year? Did you guys do that?
Yeah, a couple times.
I know we did at least twice.
Yeah, we have too.
Yeah. I know we got 6 against the Patriots.
Oh, you got to get 6 against the Patriots, just like we had to kill Dallas, but we didn't do that last year, but we killed a few other teams. But we're going to kill Dallas this year.
Who who interests you in your division?
Okay, well, let's wipe away who doesn't, because I'm not worried about the Commanders one bit, no matter what they do. And I don't
might be a sneaky team this year.
Well, it depends. If the sale filing goes through, we're going to have our 76ers owner, Josh Harris, and Magic Johnson owning the Commanders down the road. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And 2, the Giants have made some strides, but they just overpaid $40 million for their quarterback. So
I don't know
have fun trying to put a team around him. And then the choke artists down in Dallas, I don't think are going to do a damn thing this year. The Cowgirls can scream all they want with regard to how they're going to dominate the division, but when it's all said and done, the last team to repeat as winners of the NFC East was the Eagles when we went to 4 straight. We won 4 straight, went to the Super Bowl in 2004. Since then, since 2004, we've had a different division winner every single year in our division, be it Washington, New York, or Dallas, or us. Yeah, we are breaking that streak this year, and we're going to win. We won the division. We did not. No, we were a wild card. No, we were the division winner. Yeah,
13. It was weird. It was weird. I have to admit.
What was the first
because you guys
season with 18
won
games?
So many games, and to wild card in was very strange.
It was. I mean, look. There was a first season with 18 games, which, the record doesn't have the 17, so that took me a minute.
Why do you guys play Minshew?
Huh?
Because, I'm a Jets fan.
What?
But I have to ask you.
What?
Was Jalen hurt that game?
Yeah, Jalen, at the end of the season, the 3 games we lost, and Minshew played 1 against Dallas. Jalen was... We were trying to get him healthy for the playoffs. No. We were trying to get him healthy for the playoffs, which... Hey, Jets.
Because I heard a lot of Eagles fans. Because we're right here.
Oh, I know.
We're very close. We're very close to Philly. Delaware's not that far at all. But you would be surprised how
upset
when I moved back here from Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a lot about Jalen. He was like right under.
Oh yeah, there was
Oklahoma was right there.
There was a lot of.
So I heard a lot of Jalen.
There was a lot of controversy.
Him play football, and I was like, oh my God, this dude's a beast.
Yeah.
And when I came back home, the Eagles were a little reluctant to give him a shot. I can remember Eagles fans being like, this guy is not the guy.
Time out.
They were ready to cut Jalen's head off.
No.
And even last year, how many games did y'all win in a row? Like 10?
Yeah. We started the season, I think it was 10-0.
10-0. He goes down hurt. And I literally heard sportscasters all over the world well, we could still win because Minshew's all right.
Well,
how did you feel about that?
Okay.
How did you feel about that?
There was one in particular, one loud voice that claimed that the Eagles would be the same with or without, didn't matter who the quarterback was, which I completely disagreed with. He's a former Giants quarterback, so I'll just leave him. Yeah, but there was a lot of controversy drafting in the second round. Even I was like, why did Howie do this? But here's the deal. Rewind. You guys are trying to bring a certain 12 to town. That 12 sat behind a 4 for a couple years in Green Bay, 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. Now, I believe this is something that NFL teams have to play a first or second round pick as early as they can. But if they're smart, if they're a second or third round pick, they let them sit behind the veteran and learn and play them towards the end of the year, mid to the end, depending on how your season's going. And players develop better that way. They get a feel for the coach's system. When you know the offensive playbook, the more you know, literally know by instinct, the faster you can play. The faster you can read
I
and
totally
react.
agree with that because
And that's what Jalen benefited from.
it's like anything else. We don't think when we walk down the steps. We just do it.
Yep.
The second you think walking down the steps, you'll fall. And I just really feels like
Time out. You if you think walking up the steps, you can fall too. So let works both ways. and you know how silly it looks to fall up the steps, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it happens.
But hey, we've talked about the wide receivers. We've talked about the quarterbacks. Let's get into
the running backs?
Yeah, who you got in your backfield this year?
Oh, our backfield is solid and solidified. And I tell you who we don't have in our backfield. Somebody named Ezekiel Elliott.
We don't either because we didn't want him. He wanted to come here, Mr. Cutoff T-shirt. Literally, there was one comment on social media that I loved that said, "Oh, you want to come here? Okay, maybe, but only if you wear the full uniform. No half jersey." That's literally what one of the Birds fans were. And I'm like, I can't stand that. It was like that.
You gotta let that
out.
man breathe. I don't know. Like
I don't want him breathing on me, bro.
But what I do know is Brees has been actually healing at a pace that they didn't see.
No.
So that's a good thing.
And we lost, our big guy, Miles Sanders, 1,200 yards.
I don't know what you guys were thinking about with that one.
Money. That's what it came down to because we got to pay Jalen upwards of $50 million a year in this next contract.
You don't get rid
and
of
we couldn't pay. I mean, he got a decent contract down there, but you can't pay $8 million to a running back. So what's going to happen? I think we're going to draft a running back for sure. I don't know if it's going to be Bijan Robinson out of Texas, but I think we got to draft one to go with. We took a flyer, low risk, high reward on Mr. Penny from the Seahawks. When he was healthy enough to play, he averaged almost 6 yards a carry, so that the guy can play. Yeah. And off him, you got the giant killer Boston Scott, Mr. 5'8", Darren Sproles doppelganger. You know what I mean? Looks just like him. Good return, man. So what's important? Besides when you're filling out your roster, you got to have some guys that can play special teams on both sides of the ball. Yeah. And he is your kick returner, punt returner, and running back. So I don't have a problem with it. He also catches the ball very well out of the backfield, which is another thing your Jets didn't really cover well last year. That's going to be a challenge.
We did a great job of that with Brees.
Okay.
Brees does a great job catching out in the backfield.
No, I'm saying your defense didn't. That's been a challenge because ever since Andy Reid did the whole, dump the pass under the screen in the flat, the NFL's done more and more of that where if you're a running back, you can't just run the rock anymore. You got to be able to catch the rock out the backfield, or you ain't gonna have a spot on the roster. That's just a fact. That's the NFL today. So my point is, it always challenges the defenses. So you think your Jets defense can handle that?
Yeah, without question.
Okay.
That's what we do. We jet up and we shut up. I tell you what, I've seen the Jets stop offenses at the 40, the 50. Mm-hmm. I've seen people come down the field with their little methodical drives.
Yeah.
All the way to the red zone where I'm just sitting and I'm looking and they streamline. And they stall them out.
Hey, that's what we did last year too because, we bent, and all of a sudden you got to the 20 and nothing was happening.
And that's why this Jets defense is a real problem because anybody can move the ball a little bit. But when you get to that point in the field where there's just nothing else back there, you have to deal with the teeth of the defense in your face.
Well, then let me throw this out there to you. If we're talking about you have a great defense and we feel we got a pretty good one,
the top 4 defense.
Okay, no, but just hear me out.
I'm just saying, no, it's top 4 defense.
Okay, but if both teams have a good defense coming into this,
like DJ Reed.
Okay, but if both teams have a good D coming in, are we even going to score in this game? Is it going to be like a 21-17 game, by the end of the thing, 24-21? It doesn't sound like the Gang Green game's going to be having too many points scored.
No, it's going to be a nice amount of points because our offense is going to produce points. See, you guys had a hard enough time last season playing us.
Okay.
Trying to move the ball. And that was with a team that we weren't putting up the most points.
Oh, no?
No.
Hmm.
But our defense will hold you to, I believe it's 18.7 a game.
Oh, you think that's what's going to happen?
Yeah, and if we actually get our quarterback to come in we can account to score more points than that off of his average.
Well,
so now we have a pretty peculiar issue here.
I think when the matchup happens, I think both teams are going to make some plays. But, I'm gonna stick with my team, my Birds. I think it's going to be...
It's a bad idea.
It's going to be 37-28.
It's a bad idea.
37